Kumcha rescue team. Kumchacha area behind Malam station, behind Malcolm. Please, we need a rescue team. Please, we need an assistance. So people are dying in their room. The whole place is flooded with water. We are begging for an assistance. National service, fire service, please.
Heavy rains that hit Accra, the capital of Ghana, late Sunday night, June 28th, continued into morning June 29th, causing widespread flooding throughout the city. Major roads became impassable, homes were submerged, residents were stranded, and daily life came to a near standstill. The National Disaster Management Agency declared a state of high alert, and rescue teams were dispatched to the affected areas. In the first hours of the flooding, the capital was submerged on all sides. Dozens of neighborhoods and major transportation corridors were paralyzed, while the Tete Kwashi intersection and the railway underpass on Spintex Road were completely submerged. On the Kasoa, SCC, and Mallam Highway, floodwaters covered a large portion of the road, forcing drivers to abandon their vehicles.
So imagine, see, the wall has become like level.
The situation grew increasingly complicated for drivers seeking an escape route. While vehicles in low-lying areas moved slowly, some attempted to continue their journeys despite the rising waters, and others were forced to change their routes.
Hello.
Serious disruptions were also reported on the N1 highway, which passes through Weja and Mallam in the southwestern part of Accra. Dozens of settlements along these two routes were also flooded, and rising water levels rendered the connecting roads linking nearby neighborhoods impassable.
Nowhere to hide. This is the veranda. The gutters are on that stretch. Then the gates.
Homes were also affected by the devastation. As overflowing drainage systems spread into residential areas, floodwaters destroyed household belongings in many neighborhoods, and some residents were forced to seek refuge on higher ground. The National Disaster Management Organization deployed emergency response teams to flood-affected areas to rescue stranded residents. Rescue teams used boats and emergency equipment to evacuate vulnerable people, including children, the elderly, and people with disabilities from homes submerged in water. The scale of the disaster was not limited to flooding and evacuations. A fire broke out Monday morning in Odauna across from Adabraka Market in Accra. Firefighters were unable to reach the scene in time to extinguish the blaze, which raged for about an hour in the flood-stricken area. Hendrik Noble Kinka, the area's member of parliament, reported that access to the site was severely hampered by rising water levels. The cause of the fire remains unknown. Heavy rains also adversely affected the electrical infrastructure. The Ghana Grid Company and the Ghana Electricity Company temporarily suspended power supply from the Mallam and Achimota main substations. The prolonged rainfall significantly disrupted Monday morning's commute. Thousands of people were unable to reach their workplaces due to flooded roads and heavy traffic. Public transportation services were also disrupted as some commercial drivers suspended their routes on roads heavily affected by flooding. Interior Minister Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka instructed employers to allow employees to stay home and called on organizations to prioritize staff safety. The minister also advised staff who can work remotely not to go to the office and warned citizens to avoid crossing floodwaters by car or on foot. Authorities also urged residents living in low-lying and flood-prone areas to follow official weather updates and cooperate with emergency response teams. The Ghana Police Service, the Fire Service, the Armed Forces, and the National Disaster Management Organization have been mobilized to monitor the situation, assist those affected, manage traffic, and conduct rescue operations. Travelers were stranded for hours. Across the border, heavy rains also caused flooding in parts of Lomé, Togo. This disaster has reignited debates over accountability. While officials attribute the flooding to public indiscipline, experts hold the government responsible for structural and infrastructural failures. Critics, meanwhile, point out that the fact the same neighborhoods are still underwater 11 years after the 2015 flood disaster is indicative of a decade of inaction. The Ghana Meteorological Agency announced that heavy rainfall is expected in the southern part of the country and that challenging conditions along the coastline will persist for the next 24 hours. It is noted that because the soil is already heavily saturated, additional rainfall could set the stage for new flash floods. The National Disaster Management Organization and local authorities have not yet released any confirmed official figures on fatalities or serious injuries. While damage assessment and situation evaluation efforts are still underway on the ground, official figures are expected to become clearer in the coming hours.